word for what we're gonna have. And that word is
fun.
There it is. I knew you'd finish it.
God damn!
What is that, Bubble Guppies?
No, that's Word Party.
Oh, it is
on
Word
Netflix.
Party. Yeah.
Dude, we should start getting promoted. What's it called?
Sponsored?
Yeah, for the kids songs we sing on this shit.
Oh, man.
Dude, I woke up in the middle of the night last night at like 2 o'clock to feed the baby, and I could not go back to sleep because in my head, that just kept playing over and over again.
Ugh.
There's a word for what we're gonna have, and that word is fun.
You know, when I first started watching that show, or when my kid first started watching that show, I had the same problem. I would sing that, like, that part.
It's so
all
catchy.
the time. Yeah.
The fuck? What are they doing to our children?
I think I came over here and I was singing it one time and you were like, the fuck is that? Because you hadn't seen it.
I think so. Because I remember you telling me like, oh, my son loves it. And I was like, oh, I'll have to give that a try.
Yeah.
And then I played it for my son and he loves like one of the episodes with a fucking balloon or some shit. So he listens to it on a loop.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've been home for a couple of days.
Yeah, I guess.
Because his childcare has bbeen closed. Because she's heavily pregnant as well.
That sucks,
and
man.
needed some days off. Oh, yeah. That should be my goddamn, but I got a better one.
Yeah, you do. Well, do you want to tell me your better one?
Yeah, because I kind of teased you on it yesterday when we were at lunch.
You did. And I was like sitting too far away from you, which should be my goddamn.
It really should. What the fuck was up with that? Brandon was in the middle of us.
I know.
It's like they were trying to separate us.
Listen, we went to lunch yesterday with a bunch of people and they were like, first of all, me and Brandon were on one end of the table and then you guys were going to be on the far other end. And they're like,
Yeah.
Should we move? And I'm like, fucking yeah. What do you think I don't want to sit next to Stacy?
Yeah, we're not going to be that separated.
Yeah.
I was like, you guys don't have to. But in my head, I was like, move.
Yeah, move. I want my kids to sit next to each other and then
Yeah.
I want to look over them and into your eyes.
Yes, that's all I ever want in life.
Yeah, but then Brandon was between us and Brandon's a big guy and I'm a big girl right now. So I was like, I can't really like switch seats with him in this booth right now.
You can't do the old climb over tactic.
Yeah, exactly.
We were locked in.
Yeah.
Oh, and then also my goddamn was not appropriate to be yelling across a lunch table.
I know. I kept like looking over because I'd hear you guys talk about something and I was like, I want to be in that
I
conversation.
would love to comment on that.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my goddamn. So I'm hanging out at home with the baby in the middle of the day. It's like work week. Everybody's gone. Quiet little area on the street, right?
Yeah.
And my parents are over because they like show up once in a while and they help me take care of the baby. Like, you look like you need a break.
Goddamn angels.
Yeah, they are. And so they had stopped by and my dad was sitting and chatting with me. And then all of a sudden a fire truck pulls up right in front of our house. Like sirens aren't blaring, but lights are blaring.
Ooh, that's a heart attack patient. You taught me that.
Oh my God, I didn't even think of that. I just figured, oh, he's already here. Like we heard the fire truck coming, the sirens, and then he turned them off when he got in the neighborhood.
Oh.
And my dad looks me dead in the eyes and he goes,
Am I dying?
no. He goes, is there supposed to be a fire truck here? And I was like, did somebody call 911? Like, I have no fucking clue.
You're like, I didn't schedule one today.
Yeah, it was like, it was the most like endearing, confusing look on his face. Like, should this be happening? And then my second thought was like, dude, my son would be fucking stoked right now because this thing is parked in our driveway.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the window and I'm like, oh shit, there's an older lady that lives next door. I hope she's okay. And my dad was like, yeah, we saw her the other day and she wasn't doing so good. And I was like, how the fuck do you know if she's doing good or not? Like, did you talk to her? I still don't know the answer to that. But
Because he's a dad, he can tell.
yeah, I could see it in my eyes. She didn't look well. And so I was like, oh no. And then all these popos started pulling up, like the sheriff's department and shit, pulling up right in front of our house. But they're all like running up to her house.
Ooh.
But they're parking at my house, which isn't that far away. But I'm like, just pull up a foot. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
You could have run out and been like, this is my property.
Yeah.
This is private property. Get off my property.
Tell me what's happening. Yeah. And so this whole time I'm like, oh my God, this lady's dying. Like something bad has happened. And then we're super snooping out the windows, right? And my mom's like, I'm just going to take the trash out because the trash cans are right by her house.
Your mom's so subtle.
I know. And she's like dumping the trash and she comes back and we're like, did you get anything? And she's like, yeah, looks like they're trying to get in through the master bedroom window. Like they couldn't get the door open.
Oh, shit.
So I was like, for sure the lady next door died.
Yeah.
Like, she's not answering the door. They're trying to climb in through a window.
Or she fell. I wonder if she has life alert.
I have no idea. So then they all come back outside and they start putting on gloves and like face masks.
Oh,
and I'm
no.
like, oh, someone's dead in there.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why else would they need to do that? And then they were there for like an hour or so. They were all outside talking and I could kind of hear some things, but nothing good enough to like really know what was going on.
Yeah, they weren't like, the lady next door over here.
Yeah. Definitely died of a heart attack.
Yeah.
No.
This
Yeah.
is exactly what happened.
I have no idea what was going on. And then I thought, well, maybe they're just doing a welfare check and she couldn't hear. And so
Yeah,
she's
so-
like sleeping and they're all going to bombard her.
Yeah, and then she'll have a heart attack.
Exactly. Okay, so all that shit goes down. And then eventually they start to leave, but like the sheriff stays.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, he's waiting for the like morgue
Coroner?
to come to
Yeah.
come take a body away. And my parents are like, you think so? And I was like, I've witnessed this a lot working with older people. This
Trust
is-
me, I'm a professional.
This is exactly what's going to happen. And my mom's like, well, there's a van outside. And I was like, oh, that's probably them. And she's like, no, they'll come in like a hearse. And I'm like, no, they won't.
They don't have those anymore.
They will come in like an ice cream truck or a fucking Chrysler Town and Country. Like, they'll show up in any
What song
mom
do
car.
they play when they're leaving?
Exactly. Like, they'll
Freebird?
Damn it. They will show up in any kind of car to come take a body away.
Yeah.
They're not trying to hide anything or do anything. Or, well, they are trying to be like conspicuous, but it's not obvious what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, it's
there.
not like the 50s, though, where it was like, that's a hearse.
Yeah,
With
everybody-
its fucking blacked out curtain windows.
They like walk around with a bell ringing, like, bring out your dad.
Yeah,
That's not
exactly.
happening here. Anyway, so I'm kind of watching and I can't really see the back of the van, but it opens. It looks like they're piling somebody in. It closes and they drive away. And I was like, somebody next door fucking died. And it has to be this like 90-year-old lady.
Yeah.
And then twist, because I texted Lee and he's like, oh my God, that's so sad. Oh no, what happened? I wonder what happened. And I'm like, too bad we don't talk to our fucking neighbors to know. To
Yeah.
get, like the nitty gritty. But then I hear a bunch of like bottles clanking around. Like it sounds like a goddamn recycling dispensary thing happening in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And so I'm leaving to go pick up my son from daycare. And there's all these people in hazmat suits and they're pulling out a shit ton of glass bottles and stuff from the master bedroom window.
What?
And they have a big dumpster and they're like throwing all this shit out. Like almost like a pack rat lived there or something. But here's the fucking twist that I was alluding to earlier. The old lady was out there.
What?
Yeah, it wasn't the old lady who died.
So was it like a elderly welfare check? Like, hey, you can't live in a place like this? Was she like a hoarder?
I don't know if you've seen her lawn, but it's fucking immaculate. Like she's got like gardeners and shit. So I can't imagine that she's the pack rat.
I mean,
So I was thinking maybe she had, because she has younger people come and stay with her. Like,
Ew.
Heyo. She had, I'm sure they're relatives or something to like
Yeah.
help take care of her or something. I don't really know. By the way, this is all fucking wild speculation. I have no idea what her living situation is. But there used to be this older guy that smoked pot all the fucking time who lived there. And he doesn't live there anymore, according to Lee, because I didn't know this. He's really good and knows what's going on in the neighborhood.
Lee's a really good Snoop. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He like doesn't even move the blinds. He can like look through the little cracks perfectly without even like not even a subtle movement of the curtains. But he said that her son was living with them or something, and he's like a 40-year-old guy, and that it looks kind of like he might do drugs. And so I wonder if he OD'd or something.
Oh, fuck. That would suck.
And maybe she was like letting him live in the master, and it got like super
Trash.
yeah.
Oh.
Listen, I don't know the answer. I still don't know the answer. If I ever figure it out, I'll let you fucking know.
Yeah.
But holy shit.
You should go over there and be like, oh, hey, Betty. How's it going?
What happened?
Just making sure you're okay. And also, I made these banana bread. I wanted to
Ooh.
bring it to you.
Ooh, I think you're onto something.
Yeah.
She's so sweet. Every time she sees me or the baby or anything, she's always like, or even my parents, she'll tell them like, oh, just let me know if you need me to babysit.
Oh, what a sweetheart.
And I'm like,
You can't move.
She actually gets around. And
Yeah.
She has a little toy poodle that she names Harley.
Oh,
I love it. Anyway,
that's cute.
so that's my goddamn.
Well, goddamn.
Somebody definitely died next door.
Somebody definitely died next door. It's probably, I mean, in the neighborhood that we're in,
Yeah.
it could be drugs.
Yeah, it for sure is. And it's not the white collar kind.
No.
It's like they were probably cooking up a meth lab over there.
Yeah, like thank God her house didn't explode. Maybe that's all the glass you heard. Bum, 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 bum.
Just a bunch of...
You heard the
just a
fucking
bunch of-
meth lab being dismantled.
Just a bunch of goddamn beakers and Bunsen burners.
Exactly. You didn't see what it was.
I didn't. Lee was like, what kind of bottles were they? And I was like, oh, I don't... my glasses weren't on.
Sounded like a 20 ounce.
Yeah. All right,
Well,
Aaron,
goddamn.
give me your goddamn.
All right. Well, my goddamn is another goddamn mom win. So,
Ooh, I love these ones.
yeah. I was playing with my kid the other day, and he has all of these toys that are like tiny little people.
Uh-huh.
And he flipped them all face down
Oh,
on the carpet. And so they're all just like laying down face down on the carpet, and I'm sitting with him, and he goes, dead, 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 and points at all of them.
this is because you listen to fucking murder podcasts in his presence.
Listen, I don't anymore. I stopped.
I don't believe you.
I stopped.
When? After he said dead, dead, dead?
No, it was before this. Maybe shortly before this.
Oh,
it
dear
was a couple of
Lord.
months ago.
My God. How are your cats doing? Have you seen them lately? They still have their necks and their heads and shit attached?
Yeah. Well, the cats are like bigger than him still.
Yeah, sure. Your
so-
cats are massive.
Yeah, they can hold their own. I'm not worried about them.
Watch out for any kittens.
I am a little bit concerned about one of the dogs, though. He's way too passive.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah, no, they're doing all right. Every once in a while, he will go over and like hit him or like kick him type thing. But I'm like, no, we don't do that. We don't do that. And then if you ever like,
Discipline the dog.
yeah, discipline the dog or like push the cat off because you're like, I just don't want you on me right now because you're 1,000 pounds and you're hot as shit.
Yeah.
Then he'll yell at you like, you have to be nice to Goose. You have to be nice to
Aw.
Goose. I'm like, all right, so he's not a murderer.
Yeah, that's nice. That's very reassuring.
Yeah, but then this happened, and he goes dead, 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 pointing at all 4 of the little
Dead
characters.
people.
And I was like, uh-oh, like,
How did they die, little one?
yeah. I'm like, well, this is my chance to like parent this situation, right?
Yeah, let's
And-
see what you did.
So I flipped them all right side up, and I was like, no, they're fine. Like,
Resurrected!
yeah, and I was like, oh, look, they're alive. Like, they were just sleeping, doing
Oh,
that.
dear God.
And he goes, no. And he flips them all back over and looks me dead in the eyes and puts his hand up to my face and goes, no touch.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, oh, shit, I guess they're dead.
Oh, my God.
So I don't know where or how my kid learned about death. I've no
Well.
possible.
I have a few ideas.
But yeah, that's my.
Oh, my
my
God. I
parenting win.
love it. He's going to be taking over this podcast someday.
Oh, absolutely.
You're nailing it. You're nailing the mom life.
Yeah.
He won't be a serial killer.
No, probably not.
I mean, and if anything, he'll be the perfect predecessor to our podcast.
Yeah, exactly. He'll be like a guest someday.
Yeah, and then eventually he'll take it over for us. This is a legacy that we are building for him.
Exactly.
Dead, dead, dead.
He just needs one friend, which I can kind of guess where that one's going to come from.
Yeah, I made 2.
Yeah.
We'll just have to see which one's the weirder one because my first one's kind of a sweetheart.
Yeah, he is. All right, lady. Well, it is episode 56. Are you ready to hear my story?
I am. Give it to me.
Okay. Mine is about Joey Fulgham.
Okay.
So, we're going to start off with Tyler Edmonds, who was a 13-year-old boy from Mississippi.
All right.
Okay? He grew up with his mom and his stepdad. He was an honor roll kid, but he was like, I want to get to know my real dad, right?
Yeah, you're not my real dad.
Yeah, exactly. So he got into contact with his half-sister, Christy, in the hopes of meeting and making a connection with his biological dad.
Uh-huh.
And turns out he didn't really hit it off with his dad.
Awkward.
Yeah, but he got along really good with his half-sister. So he was like, cool, like, let's have a relationship, right?
Got a sister out of the deal.
Exactly. Not a bad fucking deal.
Okay.
Christy was like 10 plus years older than him. But apparently, according to one of them, they were like kindred spirits.
Aww.
Yeah. And don't worry, it's not going to get like gross incest or anything. Just a forewarning.
They won't be like kissing siblings.
No, exactly. So apparently there was trouble in paradise in Christy and her husband Joey's marriage.
Oh man.
They had appeared on the Montel Williams show to discuss Christy cheating on Joey.
Oh, I fucking loved that show.
I know. I was like, you're on maternity leave. You've probably seen a fucking shit ton of it.
Oh my god. No, it's not on TV anymore, is it?
I don't know, maybe reruns or something. But
Every day after high school, I would come home and watch Montel Williams, Maury, like all of that shit.
oh my God,
and
those
it
are
always
the best.
I know it always ended with Jerry Springer, and then I'd be like, all right.
I mean, Jerry Springer was always just like the icing on the cake.
I feel like it was like satire. Like, all right, this
Yeah.
isn't real.
It was the icing on the white trash cake.
Yeah, yeah.
So they were on Montel Williams because she was cheating on him.
Hold up, what do you think Montel's up to today?
You know,
Probably selling life insurance.
right? He's probably in commercials that you just don't recognize him.
Yeah, because we're not watching like the fucking I don't
Daytime
know.
TV.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
So in May of 2003, Christy and Tyler decided to go away for a weekend trip to the coast.
That'll help. Vacation.
Yeah. Well, Tyler's the 13-year-old brother,
Oh, my bad.
half brother.
I got swooped away in their relationship
Yeah,
issues.
in their relationship. No.
So
now-
half sister and brother.
half sister and brother and Christy's kids
Oh.
and one of her many boyfriends.
She be sneaking and geeking.
Whoa. I guess so. Well, they all decided to go away to the coast and they were going to leave Joey at home. For some reason, he's like, yeah, cool, whatever, right?
Yeah, go with one of your lovers.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
Fucking weird.
According to the boyfriend, Christy had said that she would pay for the whole trip, even though she was unemployed and like notoriously broke.
Oh, shit.
And then she paid for everything. She paid for the souvenirs, the hotel, all the food in cash,
Uh-oh.
which is weird because,
Yeah.
like I said, she was broke and
Where's she getting this
unemployed.
money from?
Exactly.
Okay.
So on Saturday, May 10th, Joey was supposed to go to an air show with his brother Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Shannon kept calling Joey but wasn't getting an answer. So he went to Joey's house, but no one was answering the door either.
Okay.
So by Sunday afternoon, he was like, all right, something's fishy.
Yeah, I need to check on my brother.
Yeah. So he went back to Joey's house and he cut the screen on the door and went inside.
Oh, dang. He went in.
Yeah.
Not fucking around.
No. And then on May 11th, 2003, Joey Fulgham, who was Christy's husband,
Uh-huh.
was found dead in his bed by Shannon.
Damn.
He had been shot in the back of the head with a rifle,
Ooh.
and he had also been robbed. He had cashed his check for a little over $1,000 on the Friday before his body was found. He was found on a Sunday,
Okay.
and he put the money in his wallet, but the wallet was gone.
When did this little vacation happen?
The weekend.
Oh.
So, like, Friday night to fucking
Sunday.
Monday. Yeah, Sunday evening, Monday.
Okay.
So Joey worked with his brother Shannon, and that's why we know that little tidbit of info that he had cashed that check and like
Okay.
how much it was for and everything. So
Got it.
Shannon was like, he should have like over $1,000 cash
Yeah,
on him.
we just got paid.
Exactly. And then when Christy and Tyler got back from their weekend trip, Christy was immediately arrested, and Tyler's mom was asked to bring Tyler to the police station for questioning
Oh, shit.
because she's the spouse. So they're like, all right, listen, you're gonna come with us.
Yeah. You don't have a choice. You're coming with us.
Exactly.
And plus, you just went on this vacation.
A little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how you paying for all that shit,
How
Christy?
old is Tyler? Sorry.
13.
Okay.
So Christy told the police that she had been in an abusive relationship and that Tyler had shot Joey.
What?
Yeah.
What?
This 13-year-old kid.
What?
Yeah. And Tyler and his mom didn't know that Christy had said that. So when Tyler's mom brought Tyler into the police station to be like, okay, let's answer some questions, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He was like, fucking no. Like, that didn't happen. I didn't
my
do that.
God.
I have no idea what you're talking about, first of all.
Yeah.
And he denied having any involvement in the death of Joey.
Uh-huh.
And then somehow the police got the mom out of the interrogation room.
Oh, no. I'm going to be pissed, aren't I?
Oh, yeah.
Motherfuck. Okay.
But I guess it's legal in Mississippi to continue questioning a child without their parent there.
Underage.
Yeah. So then they get Christy, the half sister,
Uh-huh.
to go in and talk to Tyler, like while the fucking cameras are rolling and shit,
And
right?
she's the one that said that Tyler shot
Yeah.
Joey.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, good.
Uh-huh. And Christy was like, hey, man,
Just say you did it.
yeah, you got to say that you helped me with this because since you're only 13, you won't get in that much trouble.
Okay.
Basically, like, take the fall.
Yeah.
Some shit went down, take the fall because you're a child, so they're not going to charge you.
And they see this on video.
Yeah.
Okay.
And apparently, while they were on this little weekend trip, Christy had told Tyler what she had done, but she told him to deny knowing anything about it, which he did.
Yeah.
And then, if that doesn't work, to say that he'd helped her so that part of the blame would be off of her and he wouldn't get into that much trouble. So then she couldn't.
That.
Yeah.
What a bitch.
Exactly. What a bitch.
Chrissy's a bitch.
Yes.
Fuck you, Chrissy.
Otherwise, she thought she'd get the death penalty, unless it was shared blame.
Got it.
So now we're in the second option where she's asking him to say that he took part, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so he was like, fuck, she's probably right because she's an adult and I'm 13.
Oh my
and
God.
I don't know any better, right? And so he told police in a taped interview that he and Christy had both shot Joey. They had pulled the trigger together.
Oh, how romantic.
Yeah, he said that he stood there and then she stood behind him with her arms around him and they both had their finger on the trigger and they shot him.
That's fucking confusing.
So then Tyler's mom came back into the room and she was like, what the actual fuck, guys?
Yeah.
Like, why are you talking to my son without me being here?
Yeah.
And she bent down to talk to Tyler and he said, me and Christy did it.
Oh.
And he was like distraught and everything, like,
Yeah.
and the cameras were still going.
Okay.
So,
Oh, this is breaking my heart for that mama.
oh my God, right?
I'd
It
be
gets
like,
worse.
no, you didn't.
I know. Don't fucking lie to me.
Jesus.
So, as it turns out, and you can imagine, Christy was wrong,
Uh-huh.
and Tyler was charged as an adult
Oh my God.
with murder. A 13-year-old kid being tried as an adult.
And he didn't even do anything.
No.
Oh my gosh.
So, 4 days after his confession, he was like, fuck, I probably shouldn't have confessed to something that I didn't do, right?
Oh my God, this poor kid.
Yeah. And he recanted his confession and gave another confession where he said that Christy had told him what she was going to do and that she went in and shot Joey and Tyler waited for her in the car.
Oh.
So
Does that make him like an accessory to murder or some shit?
I think that it would, but they didn't believe him.
Oh man.
They thought, like, no, you fucking admitted to taking part in this and shooting him, so
Yeah.
that's still the one we're going with, right?
Ugh.
So they still charged him with murder. Tyler's mom, who you're like, poor lady, right?
Yeah.
Well, she ended up selling her home and liquidating her 401k and all of her assets and everything to get Tyler the best defense that she could.
Good.
She even ended up getting divorced during this time because a lot of fucking shit was going on,
Yeah,
right?
a little stressful.
Yeah. And there was a medical examiner who was somehow able to determine that the bullet wounds found on Joey's body were consistent with two people pulling the trigger at the same time.
How? Like the height of the 13-year-old or something and the trajectory of the bullet?
Fucking, it's bullshit.
Okay.
It's absolute bullshit.
So this came from obviously Christie's specialist side.
Yeah, right? The
Yeah.
prosecution's side. Yeah, how the fuck do you come to that conclusion?
Yeah.
That's absolutely ridiculous. You don't know how many fingers were on the trigger.
Yeah.
It's a bullet. It's only going to come out one way and one way. Like,
No matter how it got pulled.
yeah, you can't. It's just, that's ridiculous, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
I would agree.
Yeah. So in 2004, Tyler was convicted of murder at
No.
15 years old.
No.
And he was sentenced to life in prison.
Oh my God, this poor soul.
This poor fucking child.
What the fuck?
Yeah. He was sent to Walnut Grove Youth Correctional Facility, which was a notoriously brutal prison
Oh God.
and has since been closed.
oh
But
shit.
this child, that's where you're sending him.
This poor kid.
So Christie's trial didn't take place until 2007, but she was sentenced to death.
Oh God.
It was later reduced to life in prison without parole.
Uh-huh.
An interesting note, during the trial where she was sentenced to death, apparently the jury had been dismissed to their hotel rooms for the night and told not to discuss the trial with anyone.
Yeah.
And before they left the building, but after they were dismissed, a bailiff on the case, who was also a minister, had a Bible in one of the jury rooms and he had forgotten it.
Yeah.
So he went back to get it, and then there was a juror in there who was like, well, can I borrow it for just a little bit? And the bailiff was like, sure, just for a minute.
Because
Then
I need that.
yeah, and then went back to get it like 15 minutes later. No big deal, right?
Okay, kind of weird.
Well,
to me.
It apparently is a huge deal. The defense tried to claim a mistrial because of this, stating that the jurors may have been wrongly asked to consider not just the evidence and documents coming from the court, but also from the Bible.
What?
So, like
he's pushing the word of God on them or something?
yeah, like your code of ethics or whatever.
Oh.
Like that kind of thing.
Weird.
So I guess that was like a big snafu.
Oh, that fucking sucks.
And
so
then,
it was like, it was just their way to be like, I feel like this isn't going the way that we want it to go, so I'm going to bitch about this one little thing and make it a bigger deal than it is.
Yeah. And then the judge was like, fucking no.
Oh,
Disregard
good.
the Bible and we'll be cool. Like,
Yeah.
Sorry that happened, but don't use that to judge your sentencing.
Was the Bible any kind of their defense?
No, not at
Yeah.
all. And
Yeah.
they even had the bailiff like go on the stand and everything and be like, well, you had this Bible in here. And he's like, I mean, there's a Bible in every hotel room across America.
Yeah, they're staying in hotels.
Yeah, and they're staying in hotels. So like this,
Access was granted either which way.
yeah, like it's not really that big of a deal kind of thing. And they're like, well, can you prove that? And he's like, if you gave me time to go to a hotel, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was all like for nothing, but I thought it was kind of interesting that they made
Yeah.
this huge fucking deal about it.
Shady.
Yeah. Also in 2007, the Mississippi Supreme Court threw out Tyler's conviction.
What?
Yeah. They said that the medical examiner's testimony was debunked.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it shouldn't have been allowed in court. I,
Oh, shit.
on the side, just really want to know how he justified that he thought it was two people pulling the trigger.
Right? Like, you would love to be in the courtroom then?
Yeah, like, I'm sorry. What
Come
is
again?
what is your fucking science behind this?
Yeah.
You can't tell me that.
Oh, my gosh.
And then the court also forgot to mention that Christy had been beaten and abused because of her infidelity and that she had a life insurance policy on her husband. So, like, Tyler had nothing to do with this. This
Yeah.
bitch was cheating.
She had all the motive.
And exactly, she had all the motive. She was cheating and she has this life insurance policy on him. And that she had tried to get a gun prior to Joey being shot.
Oh, shit.
And she had told her friends that she wanted to, quote,
Shoot
end
Joey.
her situation.
End her situation?
Yeah, which
Oh, yeah.
essentially shoot Joey.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he was released when he was 17 years old.
Oh, this poor kid. That's 2 years, right? That he spent.
He was 13 when he was charged.
Okay.
When it all
And then he got
happened.
sentenced at 15, but he was still, like, being held.
Yeah, he was.
Oh,
yeah.
that's so sad.
So, fun facts about Christy's trial.
I'd love to hear them.
Her dad testified against her.
Oh, shit. His
Say-
half dad? Or his real his real dad? His
Yes.
biological dad.
Tyler's biological father, Christy's also biological father, testified against Christy,
Oh,
saying
shit.
that she had come to him a couple days before Joey was killed and asked him to borrow one of his guns.
Oh.
And she told him she was going to kill Joey, and she told him that she had a $500,000 life insurance policy on him.
Was he like, no, you can't borrow my gun?
Yeah, he was like, fucking, nah, bitch. Like, first of all, I raised you better than this, right?
Yeah. Hire someone.
Right? Don't
That's a
do dirty work yourself.
That's a bad joke.
She also said that she would buy him a Cadillac if he kept his mouth shut.
What the fuck?
Because I guess dads like Cadillacs.
Yeah.
So he
obviously.
obviously didn't let her borrow his gun.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything to stop her either, huh? Like, give Joey a heads up.
No. Yeah, I guess he didn't. But maybe he thought, like, she's just not actually going to do it.
She's just hormonal.
Yeah, must be that time of the month.
God.
Also, a lady jailer at the jail
Uh-huh.
where they belong
Where they're jailing.
said that 3 days after Christy was arrested, she had come up to her and asked her to give Tyler a letter that she had written. And the jail lady was like, fucking, no, I
Yeah.
can't do that.
That's not what I do here.
Yeah, I'm
I'm a jailer.
not your goddamn post office.
Yeah.
So when Christy insisted, then this jail lady took the letter and read it.
Oh, good.
It was basically a long-winded way of Christy telling Tyler that he needed to take the blame and say that it was an accident because you can't get in trouble for accidents.
Oh my gosh, this piece of shit.
Yeah. She also tried to be like, don't listen to your dad, the guy who refused to provide her with a gun.
Yeah. The very sound advice
Yeah.
that he has given her.
Because he doesn't love you and I love you and blah, blah, blah. Like,
She's like gaslighting him.
yeah, basically, like, just fucking do as I say.
Yeah.
So, those are the fun facts about Christy's trial.
What a bitch. I
Yeah.
hate her.
And Tyler is out and free, and he tries to seek compensation for his time in jail.
Yeah.
He was looking for $158,333.
That's it?
Yeah.
It's not even that much. I mean, that's a lot to like a 17-year-old and to me, but I mean, in
It's a
terms of
lot.
like 5 years of your life,
It's a lot in like a chunk of time.
Yeah.
Or like a one chunk, like, wow, it's a lot of money.
lump sum.
But yeah, for like you said, 5 years of your life,
Yeah.
that's not
Enough.
enough.
No.
You lost your childhood. Like,
Yeah.
and the state royally fucked you because you were a child.
Yeah.
And this all happened. Like,
That wasn't appropriate.
I didn't think that was enough either. But he was denied.
Oh.
And get this.
What the fuck?
He was denied because the state of Mississippi has a law that says he wouldn't have to be compensated because he, quote, contributed to his own conviction.
What?
So, essentially, since he initially confessed, the state was saying that you can't blame them for using your own words against you, and that's why you got convicted. So technically, you contributed to your own conviction.
Yeah, but he's 13 years old. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Exactly. He's 13 years old, and he's attempting to protect a family member who he loved and trusted. Like,
And who she was like manipulating him.
She
Like
was
he was a
manipulating
fucking
him.
victim.
exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's like when.
And
you
he's a child, and it's like, do you love mommy? Oh, well, let's do
Yeah.
this. Like,
Yeah, do this if you love me.
yeah, you can convince a child to do something for you if it's a family member that loves you. Like,
Absolutely.
that's insane.
That's terrible. That's also like when people side with their like captors and stuff just to survive. Like you're going to say that anything they say in that scenario can be used against them. Like, fuck, I was just surviving.
you went with him to the store and didn't try to run away. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
because he would have fucking beat me or whatever.
Yeah, I
Like,
was scared.
exactly. And
Oh
this
my God,
poor,
this poor
kid,
kid.
he thought that was his only choice, was to like confess and help. And then he was like, oh fuck, she was wrong because she's been lying to me this whole time.
Oh, that poor kid.
Yeah.
But at least he's free.
Yes. Well, no, he's still free.
So you going to ruin my life?
No, the last thing is Tyler also appeared on Dr. Phil to talk about it.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it's a super short segment.
Uh-huh.
And the kid seems like pretty well put together and stuff, like considering everything that he's been through. I feel
Yeah.
a little bit bad for him.
Yeah.
But just a little bit. And all I want to say about the Dr. Phil thing is that Nancy Grace
Oh, God.
is fucking intense.
Was she like chewing him out or something? Like talking shit
wasn't-
about him?
She wasn't chewing him out, but she was like just mad. Like you couldn't even you almost couldn't tell what side she was on because she was just like mad and yelling, and you're like,
Nancy Grace.
Jesus, lady, like fucking calm down.
Yeah, she is a little intense.
You need to calm down.
And it sucks when she's wrong because you're like, ooh, that's embarrassing.
yeah, right. Like
Yeah.
you really took a stand on that one, lady.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You look like an asshole now.
yeah. And
But she's very entertaining to watch.
I don't know, man. I did not like her. Like the whole time she was talking, I was like, wow, she's insane.
Intense. Well, because I used to work with the old people, and this one old lady always watched Nancy Grace.
Yeah.
And she is really intense, and it's like a lot to listen to, but it's kind of fun when she gets like going. She'll be like, look at that nasty smirk on her face. And you're like, God damn, you are heated. Let me get the popcorn. I thought he was just like chilling.
Well, I guess I see the smirk now.
Yeah.
You pointed
Yeah.
out. Yeah, but goddamn, this
Holy
poor
shit.
kid.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Poor Joey.
Poor Joey in all of this. Yeah. That's pretty fucked up.
Damn.
But yeah, could you imagine like, oh, you're a lady and you're married to this guy and you're like, I don't want to be married to him anymore. And then out of the blue comes this half brother who's like, hey, you want to get to know each other? Because like I'm your half brother. And you're like,
Let me manipulate the fuck out of him.
perfect fucking scapegoat.
Oh, God.
Exactly. Like,
What a
oh,
piece of
let's see
shit.
how I can use you to my advantage.
Oh, I hate people.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, goddamn. That was a rough
Goddamn.
one.
Yeah.
Fuck her. I'm mad now.
You should be, but he's free and she's not. So,
Okay, are you ready for my story?
all right, Stacy, give me your story.
Murder.
That's what we're going to talk about.
Okay, my case is about Ralph Feltrop.
All right.
Okay, and side note, there isn't a lot of like background on these people or anything, so we're just gonna jump right into the shit.
Okay, let's do it.
On March 8th, 1987, in Jefferson County, Missouri.
Good year.
It was a good year. I was like, that's no one's birthday. I don't know why she gasped. It's our birthday year.
It's our birthday year.
That's what matters. In Jefferson County, Missouri, 32-year-old Ralph Feltrop and 27-year-old Barbara Rome were living in their shared trailer with Barbara's younger daughter when a domestic dispute broke out.
Uh-oh.
Evidently, it wasn't rare for domestic disputes to break out between these two. And I would like to say that all accounts of what I'm about to explain are that of Ralph's opinions and what he recounts.
Oh, okay.
So take with that what you will. Like, we only have his side of the story.
Yeah.
Because you can guess what happens.
All right.
Okay, so the family was sitting down to dinner, and then Barbara began to accuse Ralph of seeing another woman.
Uh-oh.
And she began to threaten him with a steak knife.
Oh, shit.
And he somehow managed to calm her down
Uh-huh.
and get her to put the knife away. And he's like, I didn't have an affair, like, you know, denying the whole affair thing. Like, let's calm your tits and let's go to bed. And so,
We're just trying to have a nice fucking dinner here.
I guess we're having steak because there's a steak knife involved.
Yeah.
Can we just have a nice dinner?
Are they doing this in front of their daughter?
Yeah.
Or her daughter?
Yeah, supposedly. There wasn't a lot on it, but there is a little line that alludes to the fact that the daughter was there.
That's sad.
Which I'll mention later. So Ralph says that he goes to bed, and then he was awoken around 2 a.m. with Barbara kneeling over him with a fucking knife.
Okay, that's terrifying.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Like, what the fuck is going on?
No.
No, I don't want to. And so Ralph grabs for the knife, and the two like struggle to get control when Ralph eventually gains control and he slashes at Barbara with the knife.
Shit.
The knife plunged into Barbara's neck
Oh, God.
with one forceful thrust, and it severed her vertebral artery and went so deep as to penetrate her cervical spine, which caused paralysis of her right side. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Did you hear all that?
It was a lot of medical words. The one that I caught the most was cervical spine, because I think of your cervix, and I'm like, that's not up in your neck. I mean, I'm sure that you got it right. I don't know what any of these terms are.
I don't really know because I didn't spell it like cervical. I just said cervical.
Oh, how'd you spell
Cervical? Cervical? I think it is cervical. Let's
Ceviche?
Google. Ceviche?
Shit's tits. And no, I'm not eating it when I'm pregnant. Don't worry, guys.
Oh, no, that's what it is. That's like your neck.
Is cervical?
Yeah, after Googling,
Okay.
cervical spine is just your neck.
Okay.
But yeah, so he's like, struggling to get the knife, and then he slashes out at her, is
And
what
just-
he says.
Fucking one stab right through, like, fucking her entire neck spine.
Yeah, her artery and her goddamn spine.
Ugh.
Like, you didn't slash, you fucking stabbed.
Yeah, but also, if someone is on top of you with a knife, I might go a
Flail.
little heavy on the
On the
flail.
thrusting.
Yeah. A little
feel
heavy
like
on
I'd
the
be like,
power.
Get this knife away from me. But then what if they got it again? Yeah,
Exactly.
I
But I
don't know
guess
what
they'd
would
be
do.
off of you if they got it again. Although I
That's
don't
true.
think I'd want to stab a person.
I don't either. This is, just hold on.
Okay.
Here we go. Let's go.
I'll hold my horses.
Okay. The wound was so severe that it caused her to bleed to death.
Oh my God.
And experts determined that it took anywhere from 15 minutes to 4 hours for her to die.
Well,
But
hopefully
Ralph-
not 4 hours because Ralph called the police.
Jesus Christ, right? Well, Ralph never confirms how long it takes to die in any of the documents that I read.
Okay.
But what you were just getting at, what he does confirm after is that after Barbara died, instead of calling the paramedics or the police, he placed her body inside of a refrigerator
Nope.
for several days.
Nope.
I should not laugh. I hate that I laughed. It's your reaction.
Nope. It's because that's an awful idea.
No, yeah, I'm suddenly not believing your story, Buckaroo.
Yeah, this was all a big misunderstanding, and she came at you, and it was self-defense.
That's where he's going to go with it.
So then, when you're covered in blood, like from a person kneeling on top of you and being stabbed in the neck, is when
spouting
you,
blood everywhere.
yeah, you're gonna have blood on you, and they'll be able to tell by the pattern of it and everything.
What the fuck happened?
So you call the fucking police.
Yeah, maybe don't put her in the refrigerator, you fucking weirdo.
No. Also, who has this much room in the refrigerator?
I don't understand. It must have been like a garage refrigerator where you keep the beers or some shit and he took out the shelves. I don't know.
I don't either. Is it like a chest freezer? You said refrigerator.
So he put her body inside the refrigerator for several days to throw off the decomposition.
Yeah, no, by like day 2, I'd be like, all right, listen, we really got to get a game plan here.
I got a body here. What am I going to do with this? Should I just like pull her out, let her get back to room temperature? It's really awful that I'm saying this about a real person. Okay, so several days, right?
Yeah.
This obviously throws off the decomposition and like the time of death and everything. But after a few days, he proceeds to pull her out, and then he mutilated her body
Oh my God.
by severing her head, hands, and lower legs from her torso. He also chopped off one of her feet from her leg. And I couldn't find it again, but when I was first going through all the articles, I think I remember like he attempted to chop off the other foot or something, and then he just stopped. Like, fuck, this is a lot of work.
The one extra foot was too much.
Like, I just did all this. This isn't necessary.
I just need a smoke.
Yeah, this is so much work.
I would like to also point out in like going back to the refrigerator thing.
Yeah.
If you killed someone and it was self-defense and you called me and were like, what do I do? And then you were like, I'm going to put him in the refrigerator. I'd be like, first, bad move. No.
Stacey, no.
No. This is have you ever watched TV?
First worst idea you've ever had.
Exactly.
No, you think very clearly in those kind of situations. You might not be a helper, but you're very like, well, I could think of another situation where you weren't really the brightest on that area. But one time, I'll tell it in a second. But one time I was on the phone with you when I got in a car accident. Somebody rear-ended me and you were like, hang up on the phone. You weren't on the phone. And then you just hung up and I was like, okay. It wasn't my fault though.
I think I told you though. I was like, you weren't on the phone. Also note the time and like get his insurance. And like, I know all the things to do in a car accident.
I just remember you were like talking and the phone was in my lap and my monster had exploded everywhere.
I remember
and my
that.
fucking pennies flew everywhere too.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit. And then you were like, like told me all the instructions and then hung up and I was like, okay.
I didn't catch all that. I didn't have a pen.
Repeat it. But then another time when we might have been slightly inebriated and one of our friends got in a fight and the cops came.
Oh, yeah.
And you were like, I'm just going to talk to the cops. And I was like, we are leaving.
I'm just going to talk to the cops and sort this whole thing out. Bitch, you're going to do 3 to 5.
That is like the one time that I was genuinely pissed at you. Like, no, we are going. And you're like, no.
I wasn't involved, so I just wanted to be involved.
I was like, we are not involved. We don't know them. We're leaving. There's blood everywhere.
Yours was smarter.
Yeah.
But I was ready to get to the bottom of it with him.
But I too was pretty drunk, so I was like irrationally freaking out, like, Aaron, go! Like doing dad voice.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, so he chops her up, right? Takes
Yeah.
her out of the fridge, chops her up. And he later explains that the reason that he chopped her up was obviously so he could dispose of her easier.
Mm-hmm.
And so what he does then is he takes Barbara's torso and he puts it in a trunk, which who the fuck just has trunks laying around?
Oh, I thought you meant like trunk of a car.
No, oh yeah, sorry. Like as in like I'm gonna fucking move to Paris and here's my trunk with all my stickers on it.
Going by boat.
Exactly. Okay, so he puts her torso in the trunk and then he takes the trunk to Duke Road in St. Charles County, in case anybody lives out there.
Yeah.
And then he just dumps it on the side of the road. Like he didn't try to hide it or anything. He just was like boop-a-doop boo, shoop, and like leaving this here, and then he leaves.
Was it a locked trunk? Because the first thing that I would do if I saw a trunk on the side of the road?
Open it?
Yeah.
What if it stinks though? I wouldn't open it.
I would. That'd be more the reason to open it.
Okay, I would have you open it so your fingerprints would be all over it. And I'd be like, this is a bad idea.
I was going to say I would first get like a t-shirt or something that was in my car.
I feel like you would use like your shoe, like we wear flip-flops everywhere, so I feel like you'd like use the bottom, like your big toe, but like the flip-flop is still covering the big toe to like lift it. And then as soon as you saw it was a dead body, you'd like drop it and like stumble away.
Skitter back.
Yeah. And I'd be like, what was it? What was it? What was it? Do I
And
want
then
to see?
I'd be like, it wasn't alive. Don't worry. Like that time you hit a raccoon.
You're such a good friend.
I know. You're welcome.
Okay. He then takes Barbara's remaining body parts and her leg, which is like her legs and her heads and her hands and all that shit.
All of her heads.
Yeah, all of the heads. And puts them in a garbage bag, and he dumps those bags in a pond in Jefferson County.
So what was in the trunk? Just a torso?
Just the torso with like the arms. Because
Okay.
the article said he chopped off her hands, not her
Okay.
arms.
That's weird.
Yeah. And I think it said lower legs. Yeah, just lower legs. So like her arms and her thighs and her
Okay.
torso.
That's real fucking weird.
That's heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy.
Okay.
But it's in a trunk. Trunks are big.
Yeah, still heavy though.
Trunks are made for heavy stuff.
That's true. Okay. But I don't know if you caught this. He threw those parts in a pond, not a lake, not a river, a fucking pond. What a terrible idea.
Was this like a pond that freezes over during winter and they can skate on it?
I didn't look that deep into the pond's history.
Do people fish in this pond? Because some ponds are really big.
That's true, but I still feel like you should go for bigger bodies of water if you're throwing parts in them.
Listen, my grandma lives next to a pond
Okay.
and you could hide a body in there.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, well, he does that.
Well, obviously, he didn't hide it well enough. This wasn't a
No.
good body pond.
No. Okay, so on March 16th, 1987, someone passing by Duke Road in Charles County
Was like, what's this trunk doing here?
Exactly.
I'm going to open it with my big toe flip-flop.
Precisely. That's exactly what happened.
All right.
And they were like, oh, motherfuck, we got to call the cops because
Yeah.
there's a dead body in there.
Mm-hmm. Some shit went down.
Then on March 23rd, which is a week after the trunk was found, so the cops get this trunk and they're like, oh no, we don't know who's in this trunk. It's just a torso. That's weird. we have a dead body that we have to identify, right?
Yeah, we're going to need more information than this.
Exactly. So they're like running their bleep, bloop, bloop little tests, right? So a week later, after the trunk is found, Ralph decides to go to the police station and report that Barbara is missing.
Oh,
and
now? A week later?
Yeah. Oh, guess what? He was worried that the police would soon find her remaining body parts in that fucking shitty pond that he threw them in.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to look suspicious. So he's like, I better go report her missing.
Yeah.
So Ralph files the missing persons report, and he says that Barbara had been missing for about a week, and the deputy sheriff is thinking like, well, shit, I wonder if this torso that we found is Barbara. So he goes to talk to Ralph, like after he filed his little report, right? He goes to Ralph's house, and he's like, hey, would you mind coming to the station to meet with some investigators?
I thought you were going to say to identify a torso. I was like, I mean, my torso is pretty recognizable.
Mine would be, I have tattoos.
That's what I'm thinking too. I have tattoos and moles and stuff.
Yeah,
Brandon would
your
be like,
moles for sure.
Yeah, Brandon would be like, that's absolutely her. But like most people don't have a recognizable torso.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially a week old recognizable torso.
Think that they told Ralph anything about the torso. I think he was just like, I have a hunch. I've been doing this long enough that I'm just going to bring Ralph down for some questioning, right? Because like this might be Barbara. He's saying Barbara's missing.
Yeah. And the spouse is generally the first to be questioned.
Exactly. So Ralph follows the sheriff to the station, and they arrive about 9 p.m. at night, and they have to wait there for the investigators to arrive, and they get there about 11:30 p.m. So he's waiting a little bit, right?
Damn.
Yeah.
It's a late night. My fucking pregnant ass was like, I'm not staying up that late.
Listen, I was willing to talk, but now I'm tired, so I'm over it.
Can we just do this tomorrow?
Yeah. The two investigators, they take Ralph into a small office, and that's around like 11:45 p.m., and they begin asking questions about his relationship with Barbara and her disappearance.
Mm-hmm.
Ralph says that he had last seen her 2 weeks earlier when she was leaving their home with an unknown man at 1:10 a.m. What the fuck? If you share a place together, why would she be leaving at 1 a.m? And that's the last time you saw her. But you said she's been missing for about a week, and now you're like, I saw her 2 weeks ago.
Well, maybe it was like, but I talked to her on the phone, and she was supposed to be back on Friday.
Maybe. I don't know.
Or whatever, like.
I don't know. But that's a story, right?
Yeah.
But we know differently, right?
It was the one-armed man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the cops are still like, this is pretty fucking suspicious because they don't know all that other shit that just went down that I explained to you.
Yeah.
So the investigators weren't really buying his story. And one officer asks Ralph if he was a Christian, and if so, would he tell the truth? Like trying to get at his like, fucking moral compass.
I want to be asked that.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'd like to watch you being asked that.
I feel like I would just lie and be like, absolutely, no, I would never lie.
So as soon as the guy says this, though, Ralph immediately spills the beans, and he replied with, quote, she clawed me and tried to take the knife.
Okay.
So they're like, oopsie poopsie, we got a little something on you now.
So she didn't start with the knife.
Yeah, I know, right? He says she clawed me and tried to take the knife.
So you had the knife.
Yeah.
And she didn't. And clawed you? Really? Oh, your fingernail's gonna hurt? Against this steak knife that you have?
The fuck, Ralph?
Yeah, Ralph.
We're on to you, buckaroo.
Yeah, buddy.
So the investigators immediately read Ralph his Miranda rights, which Ralph waived, and then they resumed their questioning.
Okay.
So Ralph recounts his actions and claims that he had killed in self-defense. He then offered to show the police where he left the remaining body parts, and he asked if he could drive his car so that he could get home in time to go to work the next day.
What does he think is happening right now?
Right? The dude had no fucking clue that he was under arrest.
You've just been read your Miranda rights.
Yeah.
That means you're not leaving here.
He was not paying attention.
No.
He's like, yeah, that's fine. Let me show you where I put her body, and I have work in the morning, so if you wouldn't mind, I'm gonna go ahead and drive.
Listen, guys,
I know a shortcut.
Get you out of my hair.
Yeah, this is really inconvenient right now. What a fucking idiot.
It's midnight. It's past midnight. I have to be awake for work in the morning.
Yeah, at this point, I think it was 2 a.m. or something that it didn't take too long to get the confession out of him, but they were leaving to go find the body.
Probably because he was like, oh, I have to wake up for work in the morning. I better just hurry up and get this over with.
Yeah, I'm so tired. I don't want to be tired tomorrow.
What a dum-dum.
Oh, super dum-dum. So he eventually leads them to the partially submerged trash bags in the pond with Barbara's head and legs inside. And Ralph was immediately detained.
Yeah.
That'll do it. Then
also, partially submerged, like I said, this was not the appropriate body of pond water.
Exactly. It wasn't going to be long before somebody found those parts.
Exactly.
Also, I don't want to get too morbid here, but I think we glaze over this shit so quickly. Think about the fact that this these body parts, like a head, has been in a plastic bag in a pond for like 2 weeks.
Partially submerged. So
Partially
like in the
submerged.
sun / in the water.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to find that.
No,
That's crazy.
That's some Stand By Me shit.
Yeah. Yeah, but worse, because Stand By Me, it was just a body.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
I went fishing in ponds a lot as a kid.
You ate some fish that ate dead people for
Oh,
sure.
no, we didn't eat anything that came out of there. In fact, I barely think we caught anything. We've caught like turtles, like snapping turtles and shit. But still, it was like the thing to do as a kid. You'd go hang out by the pond. Like that was going to be a child that found that.
Oh, yeah, that would fucking scar you for life.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so, well, that didn't happen to a child because he led them there.
Well, thank God.
And they, like, fished the shit out and, you know, he's detained. Then, April 30th, 1987, Ralph was charged with first-degree murder and armed criminal action. Then, June 20th through the 29th of 1988, so a year later, Ralph was tried and found guilty of first-degree murder, and he was sentenced to death. Ralph enacted, like, every petition and appeal or whatever that he could to attempt to reduce his sentencing from, like, death to just life.
Yeah.
And he maintained the whole time that he acted in self-defense, despite the fact that he had never called the paramedics or anything. Like when she was bleeding out, that like 15 minutes to 4 hours or whatever.
He never called the paramedics. He never called anyone.
Yeah, and then like you can't just like slice and dice someone up and be like, it was self-defense.
No. Like, let me destroy all evidence that could have possibly proven otherwise.
Exactly. He said, though, that he was in a panic, and that's why he did that. But, like, your panic ends.
That's what everyone says, is that you're in a panic. But if you put your spouse in the fridge,
Yeah.
for your panic,
A
your
couple
adrenaline
days?
doesn't last that long.
Yeah, you have some time to think about this shit.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Or right after you put him in the fridge, be like, hey, listen, I realize this is really fucking weird, but this is
Yeah.
what happened. I panicked, and I put him in
freaked
the fridge.
Yeah. Yeah. Could you help me get her out?
Yeah.
Kind of a weird...
Before I
thing to
go
carry.
the next step and fucking dismember them.
Yeah, and like try to cover this obvious thing up.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Is super ridiculous. It was also reported that if he had called the paramedics, that there was a possibility that she would have survived.
Oh,
That's so sad.
That's really sad.
Okay, his whole defense throughout the trial was that he was being abused by Barbara throughout the relationship, so it was an abusive relationship, and that he had never had a violent history in the past, like he didn't have a track record or anything.
Yeah.
So it had to have been self-defense. This is his whole defense. Multiple character witnesses came forward to testify on Ralph's behalf, saying he's actually a really great guy. They even wanted to have Barbara's 6-year-old daughter testify to the violence of the relationship between Ralph and Barbara, since she witnessed it firsthand.
Oh my God.
And supposedly witnessed that argument at the dinner table and shit.
Yeah, but you don't want to make this little girl testify against her mom's
Dead
killer.
mom? Yeah.
Or testify for her mom's killer.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's insane, right? Well, the court determined that she was like too young to take the stand. There's like a whole series of shit like...
Thank God. This
Yeah.
poor little girl. That would have fucking fucked her up forever.
Exactly. So she never took the stand, but I thought it was very interesting that like they wanted her as a character witness for him. Ralph had also had a psychological examination done because he had pled insanity. Like, I just fucking went insane, right?
Yeah.
And the doctor reported that he had had no mental ailment that would excuse him of the criminal behavior, but he did have a, quote, passive-aggressive personality disorder. And I was like, who the fuck knows that, right?
I know. I was going to say, I think I have that.
You definitely do. But supposedly, he's like, okay, this guy has a passive-aggressive disorder that would make him a target for domestic abuse and make him prone to go into like a rage reaction. Like he would
Like
hold
one
it
day he's
back.
going to snap.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Is this you also? Are you okay? Blink twice.
Probably.
Brandon doesn't know he's going to get murdered soon.
I know, right? God. Brandon better not get murdered, because this podcast would be like, well, it was clearly her. And I'd be like, I fucking didn't, though.
I know. And I'd be like, I'll be a character witness. And they'd be like, you're, of course, the worst character witness. Okay. So they're like, listen, this could have fucking happened. It could have been self-defense, like he, in a way, because he has this disorder and he'd freak out, right?
I mean, to be honest, my passive aggressiveness could put Brandon into a snap.
Yes.
And then he could come at me, and then I'd be like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's the ultimate passive aggressiveness.
Exactly.
So his lawyer never used this medical evidence in his defense, even though it would have made like a good argument that there's spousal abuse and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But he chose not to use it because I guess Ralph lied to the doctors about that night and like what happened. He denied even killing her or anything.
Oh, God.
And then later he came forward and said like, yes, I did it. So he figured that would be too much of an open basket for like cross-examination. They'd have like a field day.
Yeah.
And since he was pleading self-defense and all this shit, he didn't want to like mess up the one and only thing they had going for them.
Yeah.
That evidence, I guess, never got brought out that he
All
had
right.
this fucking disorder.
That he's passive aggressive.
Yeah, he's super passive aggressive, and he just fucking snapped. Which is exactly what happened if he didn't have a past. Ralph also argued ineffective counsel as well, which they always do.
Yeah.
As well as claimed that he was coerced into admission. But all the evidence showed that his confession was done ethically and correctly. And like I was naming off all the times and everything that they were like doing shit. It wasn't a long confession.
No, it didn't sound like they kept him there like until the next day or whatever. Like,
and they like explained they let him go to the bathroom. They gave him like sodas and shit. He had no idea that he was even being detained. Like, remember, he thought he was going to drive home.
yeah, that's the part right there. Like,
you
he was
didn't
like,
think you were under arrest.
I'm just gonna leave here now.
Yeah, you were read your rights. You thought you could leave at any time.
Yeah.
So you weren't coerced. So Ralph goes through like years of appeals and everything, and he's denied all of them. And then May 27th, 1997, so 10 years later, Ralph had taken his appeals all the way up to the Supreme Court, which is what like almost everybody on death row does, right?
Yeah.
The court obviously denied his fucking overturn of his conviction and issued a warrant of his execution for August 6th, 1997.
Oh, shit.
And then on August 6th, at the age of 42, Ralph was put to death by lethal injection. He was strapped to a gurney with a white sheet that was draped over his body and pulled up to his neck.
Ugh.
And he turned his head towards the room where his relatives were watching and also the cops who had like investigated him and pulled him in and everything.
Yeah.
And he smiled. And his last words were, "I am innocent of the murder charge. I was defending myself. This was a case of accidental death, and I am legally innocent of this crime." And then they killed him. And that's the end of my story. Isn't that weird?
I feel like I would have chosen better last words.
Well, okay, yes. But I'm going to be honest. Like, reading all this, I'm like, okay, you can't fucking go crazy and put somebody in a fridge and chop them up. But
Yeah.
what if she was abusive? Like, what if they were it sounds like they were in an abusive relationship.
She absolutely could have been abusive, and he absolutely could have killed her in self-defense. But then there's a point where you have to like snap out of your fucking crazy and be like,
come back down to earth.
yeah. And whether that time, because he kept her in the fridge for several days.
Yeah.
So even if it was like, oh my God, an adrenaline rush or something, like that's a few hours.
Yeah. And then it goes away.
Exactly. It doesn't last a few days.
But what if she was like mentally abusing him and saying things like, you know, like scaring him to like, don't ever get caught? I don't know. I'm totally playing devil's advocate here.
Of course.
But you know, like the like whole Stockholm syndrome and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But also,
where he's like afraid to like venture out because she put something in his head. There was no evidence of this.
But he had a job.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that means that he was a functioning member of society in some way.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy though that everybody came forward and was like, not our Ralph.
Yeah.
He didn't kill somebody.
Well, I could probably think of a few people that we know that are like, oh my God, no. And then you really think about it and you'd be like, well, but maybe.
Yeah, okay. I could see that.
Yeah, yeah. Like, given the right circumstances, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the right answer, even if that was the case and he was being abused or anything like that. But like,
no.
I don't know.
No, murder's never the right answer.
I'm not going to say it was a sound defense because obviously it didn't fly in court. But it did pique my interest. Like,
I like that passive aggressiveness is an actual personality disorder.
Right?
Because
you definitely have that.
I definitely have that. Like hard.
Yeah. Like real hard.
I wish that we could get diagnosed with all this. Like, I want a psychological evaluation and I want to be diagnosed with a bunch of shit.
I don't know if I do though.
Well, I don't want to be diagnosed with a bunch of shit. I just want to know if I have anything.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think we have like the brain of a serial killer?
Like the apathy thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I think I have enough apathy.
Oh, I've got so much of it.
I have empathy, not apathy. I have a healthy amount of apathy too. But
do you? Okay.
I remember the psychologist or something that was studying like the serial killer brain. And he's like, oh, they all have this fucking whatever, like mutation or whatever. Their brains are all pretty similar. And then he got his brain scanned and he had the same thing.
I think that was in the podcast Happy Face.
Was it?
Yeah, because she goes, because it's about the Happy Face killer's daughter, and she goes to get that test done because she's so worried that she's like her dad. And the guy who created this test found that he has like serial killer brain or something.
Yeah, that's the official name for it.
Serial killer brain.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't think that I have anything like that because I don't have any urges to kill people, and I
don't think so
want to.
either. And you're like, you're fucking passive aggressive as shit, but you're harmless.
Yeah, I will talk a lot of shit to you, but then
Yeah.
as soon as you like confront me, I'll be like, I didn't say any of that.
Yeah, that wasn't me. It was somebody else. I have no idea who the fuck that was.
Please don't hurt me.
Hi.
Yeah.
What's your name again?
Well, goddamn.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I don't know. I mean, I definitely, just to clarify, because I was playing devil's advocate back there.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. And all of these accounts, everything we know of that night came from his accounts.
Of
right?
course, yeah.
So him saying he was abused and all this stuff, we don't really fucking know. I just thought it was pretty compelling that they were willing to have the 6-year-old daughter come forward.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
Well, that
was it really that bad?
That could like testify to maybe they did have arguments all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe she was kind of a crazy person.
Yeah.
Or, would freak out when like you left the fucking sink open again or cupboards open or sink
Yeah.
on or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
you left the goddamn wet towel on the bed again.
Again. I wonder what the little girl stance was. Like if she was like, oh yeah, my mom was crazy, or if she was like, no, like this was just a bad relationship. Not that you know that much at 6, but
Yeah.
just curious.
You know what sucks now is that obviously that was her mom.
Yeah.
And her mom died. And
Yeah.
that's fucking awful.
Yeah.
But this is her stepdad. And her stepdad technically also died. And she's 16 when her stepdad gets fucking executed.
Yeah, it was 10 years later. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so fucked up. This
And I
poor
mean,
girl.
Maybe she had a biological dad in the picture. And so like she
Interesting.
moved
Yeah.
over to them and stuff. But like what if the stepdad was all that she knew?
I know. Isn't that so sad? And that's what I was saying at the beginning. There's literally no information that I could find about Barbara or her life or anything.
Yeah.
So I really only have what his defense was. So I don't want to be disrespectful or inappropriately represent her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just repeating what was in the information that I read.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure her family members would be like,
She
that's
would
not
never
the
fucking do that.
case. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. But damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Isn't it?
Well, guys, if you ever get in a self-defense situation,
Don't kill somebody.
don't put the body in the fridge.
Yeah, yeah. That one too. Great advice. Listen, if you need more advice, we're always here.
You can find it on our Facebook pod group, the goddamn pod group.
Oh, please don't ask us for murder advice.
No, I will turn you right over to the police.
In a hot minute.
Yeah. I will not be anyone's character witness.
All right, guys. So before we go into our spiel, we should give our shout outs for our Patreon.
Oh, good idea.
Which, if you want to join Patreon, go to our website, isgdpodcast.com, and click on the Patreon link, and it'll link you to our Patreon page. And for as little as $1, each month you get one extra episode of us talking into microphones.
About a case.
Uh-huh. That's true. About murder.
Generally, we get there.
Yeah, eventually. Okay, so shout out to Morgan, woo, Brandy, Devin, Angela, and Amy.
Thanks, everybody.
We love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting us.
You guys are the fucking best.
It means the world to us. And someday, when we don't have a shit ton of babies and pregnancies happening, we're going to do more with the Patreon.
Yeah.
Right now, all we can commit to is like one extra story a month, but we promise.
Someday we'll get up in either more episodes or like more
Extra content.
Yeah,
something.
something
Yeah.
fun.
We're going to make it worth your while.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, thank you so much for just being okay with one extra episode a month. 'Cause we're doing our very best.
We appreciate you so goddamn much.
Yes, we do.
And also on our website, we have a link to merch. And you can email us any case suggestions or anything like that. Or you can just email us some stories or your goddams or your audio goddams because we haven't got any of those in a while.
No, we haven't.
Yeah.
We've gotten a handful of written ones, though.
I
But
know.
they're all on, like, the Facebook and stuff,
Yeah.
so everyone can enjoy those.
They're hilarious.
Yes.
But yeah, go to our Facebook and they'll be on there. But that is at isgdpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
You can also contact us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at ISGD Podcast. Or you can send us stuff to the P.O. Box, which I
Ooh.
owe people again because I'll never not be behind.
It's okay. I owe emails all the time, too.
Yeah, good. Thank God I'm not alone. That's at P.O. Box 2764, Spring Valley, California, 91979.
And we can't wait to hear from you. Whoop. Also, you should subscribe, rate, and review. Those reviews mean so much to us.
Yeah, they do.
Because the more we get, the more we show up on fucking charts and shit, and then the more people find us.
Speaking of which,
Uh-huh.
We got some beautiful hand crocheted fucking hats.
Oh my God, we did.
For our tiny
Did you
teeny
bring it?
babies, and I forgot them at home.
You son of a bitch. God damn it.
They're from Anna, and they're the cutest little things you ever did see.
I'm sure they are, Anna. I haven't gotten to see them because Aaron's hoarding them over there.
I am. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have them on my counter. Like, okay, I'm gonna bring these to fucking Stacy's.
Oh my
And then
God.
I totally forgot.
I want to see them. They're little hats.
They're little tiny hats.
Oh
yeah.
my God. I cannot wait to put them on my baby's head.
Oh my God, they're so cute.
And it's just about to be hot weather.
It is about to be hot weather.
Oh, Anna, you're the fucking best.
Yeah, and she sent us birthday cards, and I did not open them, so I can't tell you what's in
Oh
there.
my God. It's already past my birthday.
I know. She said you could open yours. I'm not allowed to open mine until October.
I'm like 2 or 3 weeks past my birthday, bitch. I want my
know.
card.
I know. I mean, I can open it when I get home.
No,
and send
it's
you
mine.
pictures.
I want to open it.
Yeah, well, then you're going to have to wait. But then I'll be able to open mine because it'll be October.
I have a sneaking suspicion that I'm going to open it and it's going to be a glitter bomb.
Oh my God, I hope so. But for anyone listening, please don't send me a glitter bomb.
Do it. It's funny.
The herpes of crafts.
Ah, yes. All right, you lovely folks. Until next week, we love you. And thanks for everything.
Yeah.
Thank you
We love you so goddamn much.
so much.
Bye.
Bye.